My heart hurts a lot right now. All these people that claim to love me, that knew me in real life, that could have come forward when it made a difference, I was cut off from being able to communicate with them. I knew in Virginia that I was going to lose everyone over this panic attack, that they weren't going to understand, they weren't going to listen, no matter what. I knew that the cops were going to do everything in their power in all these places that they fucked up before Natalie was killed. I fucking knew it. They were going to do everything in their power to prevent me from defending myself. I knew that my family was not going to fucking care. All they care about is their fucking image. I knew I was gonna have to do some desperate shit if people didn't fucking listen, if they didn't fucking help, if they didn't look at the goddamn evidence. I don't have anyone in my corner. I never fucking did. I got Brandon Ratner. And he knows I record him. Laura Nelson could come forward, but she's a coward. Brenda Dickinson could come forward, but she fucked up pretty big, and she doesn't care that her decisions harmed me so much. Neither does Candace Bondurant. I didn't choose to have to depend on these people. I didn't choose to have everything taken from me. I didn't choose for people to slander my name and to harm me. I didn't choose for nobody to help me the way that I fucking needed. I don't choose to be overwhelmed. Christian called me tonight. How many calls did I miss from him? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You okay? Are you okay? It's fucking cold up here. I can hear the TV from downstairs. I need some fucking sleep. I need some peace and fucking quiet so I can work on this shit. I need some fucking sober people to fucking help me for God fucking sake. Being repeatedly cut off from these people, and then I didn't choose for people to fucking steal from me. I had to fucking take risks because I didn't have actual help. I had people that made empty fucking promises, and then because of what drug addicts and alcoholics had to say, I was cut off. And then when I'm having a fucking severe fucking meltdown and I need help and I'm screaming for fucking help me or fucking kill me. But between admitting that they did something wrong and allowing me to be harmed over and over and over again, every one of these people who said that they loved me, they allowed me to be harmed over and over again. And the cops, exactly what I said they would do. They would go out of their way, do everything in their power to try to peg me as crazy, get help from the medical community. The medical community cannot make a decision on this because they can't see the evidence. They didn't bother to look at it. They make their decisions based on the fact that I'm talking about the police and I must be fucking crazy because I'm talking about the police. Meanwhile, I show the evidence here on YouTube. It's the only place I fucking can. I'm not allowed to show it in fucking court. The cops make all sorts of fucking excuses why they can't. And meanwhile, all I needed was a safe fucking place. I needed these people to come forward or fucking kill me. And these people said that they would. None of them ever actually did. I mean, shit, you got to see in that video when I was in Cheyenne. One of the Starbucks employees wrote a note saying that it was all right for me to stay the night in the parking lot. And those officers are like, well, we don't know if you wrote that. We don't know that a Starbucks employee wrote that. That's what I got when I tried to. People didn't understand. In person, you have to be there. You have to be there to bear witness when shit like this happens. You have to be there. You have to write a fucking statement. You have to be able to come public about it. But because you were too afraid, to come out in public about it, or because you were too fucked up on drugs. This is the kind of help that I had. Well, the Bollingers, they had all sorts of support, all sorts of very public support, very public people harming me and slandering my name. I needed help getting a fucking court date. Here I am at 5:30 in the morning. I haven't fucking slept, fucking freezing my ass off. Been stabbed in the back by every fucking person that I care about. And here I am trying to call somebody who's schizophrenic, see if he's alright. If I had my way right now, I would have my story already written. I would have all of the evidence that was stolen from me, as well as all of the evidence that I have here, already categorized, and have those links to my story in there. So people could see it, all of the shit that I've been through. I'd have that somewhere on the internet, very public for everyone in the world to take a look at it. Have it set up so that it couldn't be taken down no matter what. I'd have a live stream between me and Alicia. I'd ask her to tell the truth. And if she didn't, I'd want a shotgun right next to me. so I could stick it in my face and pull the trigger. By refusing to take a look at this everywhere that I went, refusing to investigate, refusing to do a goddamn thing. And I can't do this myself. I need help because I don't have the money for a fucking lawyer. They were able to do this all across the United States. I never should have had to depend on others, but I can't fucking work. I can't fucking function. I have no fucking income. All of these people who claim that they love me, they didn't keep their word. They want to fucking hate me for the things that I had to do when they didn't keep their word. They want to pretend like I'm a bad guy because they didn't keep their word. I shouldn't have had to depend on these people. None of them. I needed help getting my things back. Instead, I got took. I always do. That's what happens when you don't have the things that you guys have. Most of you got right out of high school. And there's the social issues that I got. I've never had a fucking girlfriend. You guys couple up, you work together, you save money, you get to go have fun because all of your money isn't spent. You're splitting the fucking bills with somebody else, or your family helps you to get set up. Mine fucking didn't. When I lived with my Aunt Mary, that cost me so much. See, the thing is that all of these people, with all of their help, it didn't make any difference because they didn't write it down and they didn't go in with me. And in court, they were able to slander me because these people didn't come forward. They just made excuse after excuse after excuse. They're gonna, they're gonna, they're gonna, they're gonna, and then they fucking didn't. They never fucking did. He's using the TV to drown me out, and I can't take care of myself. I can't function. All of this hell that I've gone through, it could have been so different if I had just had one person actually in my corner, one person who wasn't afraid to come forward in fucking public, one person who wasn't afraid to actually go in with me when it would have made a fucking difference. By the time Miss Peaches got off her fat ass to actually fucking do something. When was it? It was July of 2018. This is 7 months after Natalie was killed. She doesn't know what this feels like because she's not separated from her loved ones. Her entire life wasn't turned upside down. She still gets to see Raja without fear of being fucking assaulted. It didn't take Raja 10 fucking minutes to fucking slander me. on my Facebook because he didn't like what I had to say. The fact is, Peach is not keeping her fucking word. Too busy with fucking video games. She had plenty of time to help me. Just too busy with video games. I just wasn't that important. All of those recordings with those people they're pissed off about, all of that shit, all of it, I recorded after I had already been railroaded in court and fucking tortured because they didn't keep their word. And they want to be pissed off at me because I exposed that. And yes, I am fucking pissed about it. I shouldn't have had to fucking do that. And these people want to pretend I'm some sort of terrible fucking person because I showed that they didn't keep their fucking word. Because I showed the things that they should have written down and should have said in fucking court. That's the thing. It's that I don't get to see my loved ones. It's not okay for me to love them. It's not okay for me to care about them. It's all right for other people to care about them. It's all right for them to care about other people, but I don't get to be a part of your world. I'm not allowed to be a part of your world. You expect me to give you free shit. You expect me to give you my entire life for nothing. You expect me to live behind a dumpster and still go to work every fucking day, even when I've got a temperature of 106 from my fucking teeth being that fucking infected. You want to pretend that I have no teeth because I'm a meth head? No. I had infections that were fucking killing me. I had excruciating tooth pain that was making it impossible to fucking think. I didn't have the money for a fucking dentist. I didn't have anyone willing to help me out with that for 5 fucking years. I was thankful for the things that these people did, but when they stabbed me in the back, yes, they stabbed me in the fucking back. That doesn't make the things that they did prior to that doesn't make it okay that they stabbed me in the back. It doesn't. If Natalie actually loved me like she claimed, she would have told the fucking truth. She would have actually stood up and told these people, hey, leave them alone. If Alicia loved me like she claimed, she would have stood up and said, hey, leave this dude alone. I just want my life to be over. I can't kill myself because I know I'm a good person. I had to do desperate shit because I was cut off from my loved ones. I was cut off from being able to communicate with them. People were being cruel to me. And then when it first started, I just took it. I just took it. I just took it. But it didn't stop because Tamara quit her job. Tamara was my only hope. Tamara was the only person through all of this that helped me how I fucking needed. None of these other people understood, and some of them, they started to understand when it was too late. I can't function and I can't take care of myself. If you're gonna lock me up and never let me out. If you're not gonna lock me up for forever, let me fucking have some goddamn peace. Alicia knew I'd never hurt her. Natalie knew that I'd never hurt her. I can't function. I need some peace and fucking quiet. I can't sleep. I need some peace and quiet. I can't work on this shit. I need some peace and quiet. I can't function. I can't function. I show this stuff on YouTube because it's the only way that I can. If I'd have had the ability to edit the phone numbers and stuff out of those things at the beginning, I would have done that. If I had had the money that was stolen from me, I would have been able to defend myself. I wouldn't have had to depend on Amy and Andrew Witcher. I wouldn't have had to depend on Christopher Tapp. I wouldn't have had to depend on Miss Peaches. I have to die before Alicia does. I have to. Amy Spencer was my friend, and she took me for all I was worth. Tabitha was my friend, and she took me for all I was worth. Andrew was my friend, and he took me for all I was worth. Lana was my friend, and she took me for all I was worth. Candace was my friend, and she took me for all I was worth. Obviously, I wasn't worth much. Obviously, taking a look at the evidence was too much for them. Obviously, writing it down was too much for them. Obviously, standing up for my constitutional rights was too much for them. Obviously, keeping their word was too much for them. Everything that I was forced to do, everything that I was tortured into and pressured into since leaving Virginia was under extreme duress. I needed help. I needed Tamara. That's the help that I needed. Jeff Ritter was just fucking useless. Kara Heller was completely useless. These people wanted to throw me away like trash for having a panic attack. Over having meltdowns. It doesn't register to any of them that I don't have a real family. My friends were my family. But they all have real families, and real families are more important than I am. It just didn't matter to them. Not enough for them to speak up in public, not enough for them to speak up in court, not enough for them to write it down, not enough for them to try to understand. I only get to communicate with these people over Facebook or my telephone, and having those things lost and stolen so much, having these people attacking me on my Facebook, attacking evidence, trying to have it destroyed. They poked me with a stick and poked me with a stick and poked me with a stick. And when I screamed for him to stop, they said, "Hey, look, he's violent." And Natalie died. And people had to be afraid because the news sent every goddamn crazy vigilante out there against me. I needed to be able to show the truth so that those vigilantes would realize the truth and leave me the fuck alone. I needed to be able to have an honest day in court. I needed to be able to show the truth so that people wouldn't be afraid to come forward. But they needed to not be afraid to come forward so I could show the truth. I needed people to fight for my rights as hard as the police and the Bollingers were fighting to poke me with a fucking stick. Would it really be that goddamn difficult for a phone call between me, the police, and Alicia Bollinger? Would it really be that goddamn difficult? keep telling me it's a civil matter and it's wrong jurisdiction and it's this and it's that. I can't function anymore. I don't have the resources to do the things that they're asking me to begin with. I'm overwhelmed and I can't take care of myself. How fucking difficult is that to understand? I play video games here to drown out the drama on the TV and the constant noise. I try to use it to focus on something that I have some control over. I can fly around my starship, the USS Stegeman. It's a Tier 6 fleet ship on Star Trek Online. I got it all set up with Tier 6 fleet phasers, all Tier 6 fleet consoles. I got it fully upgraded to Stage 4. I got a red matter capacitor. And the whole time I'm playing, I can't stop thinking about all these people that I miss. I can't stop thinking about Miss Peaches and Miss Jerry and Jenny and the boy. I can't stop thinking about my older brother. I can't stop thinking about my niece. Hi, Pam. The whole time I'm playing Star Trek Online, trying to drown out the noise, trying to occupy my mind with something other than all of the stuff that I can't do anything about because it's too loud all the time. And I fight the Borg, and I blow up some Romulans, and I replay the Battle of Gavin 4. And I have it roll through my head how expensive it is to take care of me for all of these people, and how they just didn't understand that I needed their help to get that stuff back so that I don't have to be taken care of by people who are broke. I will be victimized for the rest of my life because of the slander by Alicia Bollinger in October of 2016. Alicia Bollinger, in specific, lying to Maddie Boa and saying that I threatened her family in 2016. I didn't threaten them. I was dehydrated. I was alone. I had a meltdown and I needed help. That phone wouldn't fucking work. Oh, look. There's no wind. It's not snowing. There's snow everywhere. Everything's white. It's beautiful. It's real pretty out. Because nobody went in with me. They got to do a lot of really fucked up shit to me. And now, for the rest of my life, they get to use all of that shit and all of those court dates against me. No, not bless me. I am not blessed. I lost everyone I love. I had that low income up there. You know what was killing me? It's not being able to see my loved ones. Not having the positivity that I got from those filthy goddamn street people in Boulder, Colorado. Not being able to see Sarah Rubiolo. Not being able to see Pierre. Not being able to see Peaches because she just didn't have time. Not being able to see my older brother. Not being able to see Mobley. Not being able to see Christopher Weaver. Not being able to see Catherine. Not being able to see Misty. Not being able to see Osha. Not being able to see Brandon. Not being able to see Veronica. I couldn't see any of them, and none of them had time to understand or listen. I couldn't see Jay. I couldn't see Spencer. I couldn't see Chaos. I couldn't see Bailey. The police did everything they could to prevent me from showing evidence. The hospitals did everything they could to tried to make me look crazy. Police did everything they could. The Bollingers did everything they could. And my friends made empty promises for months and months. I finally had to break the law. I had to break the law in the hope that someone would fucking look at it, that someone would fucking. I mean, fuck. Nobody has ever had to try harder to fucking get someone to listen, and fuck. Without people coming forward like they promised. I told them, help me or kill me, not help me how you think it's gonna help. You don't know what the fuck is going on. If you can't even listen, if you can't even look at the evidence, your help is more harm than good. Because they don't care, Pam. Because when they didn't keep their word, and I was continually tortured, and I had to do desperate shit, and I had a meltdown, they didn't understand. A lot of them got abusive. They just didn't understand. This is worse than anything I've ever even heard of. Sammy Leon Lawrence IV was talking about how he's scared to go out. They didn't peg him as a murderer or a rapist or a child molester or a stalker. I wholeheartedly admit to harassing these people, harassing them to stop, harassing them to put a stop to it, to tell the truth. I didn't stalk Natalie. I went to Virginia at her request so she wouldn't kill herself over her family. After Virginia, I harassed her and Alicia and Maddie to tell the truth. I explained to them. I unblocked them to explain to them that I was being treated like a child molester and a rapist. Thought I was kidding. I didn't even know how to take screenshots. Natalie never once said that I was a child molester or a rapist. Alicia Bollinger never once said that I was a child molester or a rapist. They didn't realize that calling me a stalker would fuck shit up so much that because they were pretty and boys wanted to impress them, that they would make my life a living hell. I just wanted to be left alone. I drove 1,700 miles to get away from them. Your message is held for review. Says after watching your videos, you can see the evidence. Why don't these people understand now what the fuck was going on back then and at least put their hands up and say, sorry, we got it wrong? Pride. It's called pride. People don't like to admit when they're wrong, even if it means someone's death. Their pride didn't just kill Natalie. Their pride killed some other homeless people in Boulder because they didn't come forward after her death. Their pride killed Anna. Their pride killed that boy in Boulder. Their pride killed that man in Clearview. You're right, Pam. It is a wicked world that we live in. I already proved that Natalie and Alicia and Maddie were aware of how I was being treated. I let them know, they just didn't believe me. If I'd have been able to pull out my camera and go, hey, wait, stop assaulting me for a minute. I want to catch this stuff on camera. Instead, the one time that I had my phone in my hand at the time, it got smacked out of my hand. That was by the band shell on Broadway and Canyon in Boulder, Colorado. I kept those phones to show the evidence on them. I was trying. Without someone going in with me, I had to do desperate shit to try to force the cops to do their jobs, and because I went in alone, they did exactly what I told you they would do if I had to go in alone. I'm worried about Bobby Forrest because the police didn't document anything during those 911 calls that I made. Because I don't have a lawyer or a mailbox. Because I don't have a quiet place. Because I don't have an income. They get to abuse me for my disabilities, and not one of these people understands that. Miss Peaches didn't understand that. Tabby didn't understand that. He's watching something downstairs with Kellen. I can hear the gunshots and the screaming. You're right, Pam. I need people to organize and fight for my rights. I need people to speak out about what's happened to me. I got hundreds of I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. But I needed people to fight for my rights as hard as these people were fighting to suppress it. The news made me a target worldwide. I got paperwork in this pile that talks about my autism and my panic attacks. But Alicia didn't get to see it. People didn't show Alicia all of the stuff that was me begging for her to come forward. They didn't show her all of the cruelty that they were putting me through or all the threats that they were throwing at me in her name. It's just like Jesus. You really think Jesus wanted these people to threaten me in his name? You think they wanted Jesus to. You think he wanted them to go kill a bunch of Muslims or Jews or other Christians in his name? You think he wanted them to kill black people in his name or immigrants in his name? These people did these cruel things in Natalie's name and in Alicia's name because they're pretty. They mean more than I do. Please kill me. Please. At my grandma's funeral, when Ted was harassing me on YouTube, he was on Alicia's account. If he had been on his own account, then I would have met with him and let him put a bullet in my head. The night that I was assaulted by Officer Waylon Lolatai, I was at the church where Natalie rescued me. I didn't care if I lived or died. I just wanted the son of a bitch who killed her to show up with the gun they killed her with and get busted. Danica knows this. I did everything that I could when the police wouldn't do their fucking jobs. I asked people to leave the Bollingers alone, and they didn't leave me alone. Train. After Natalie died, you can see it was a popularity contest. Not being able to defend myself against that slander, not being able to talk to my friends when it made a difference. The longer that slander went unchecked, the more it made it look like I was guilty, the more it made it look like I was a bad person. without someone willing to go in with me, without someone willing to look at the evidence. Yeah, I typed a lot of mean shit to these people, but they did mean shit to me first by not trying to understand, making zero effort to understand, making empty promises and not understanding that those empty promises are all that I had. Not understanding that without them coming forward in public about what they knew, that money that I had, that people were sending me, it wasn't even enough to live on. If it had been in one lump sum right at the very beginning, if those GoFundMe's hadn't been torn apart by the fucked up shit that Candace Bondurant did, she's the worst friend I ever had, bar none. What she did was worse than what Amy Spencer did. It was worse than what Joanna Taylor did. It was worse than what Derek Parrish did. It was worse than what Natalie Bollinger did. It was worse than what Alicia Bollinger did. It was worse than what Peaches did. It was worse than what my dad did. Please kill me. Please. Ted Bollinger was on his daughter's account. He, for 7 hours, provided no evidence at all that his daughter Alicia was okay. He was asking for my phone number. Alicia had my phone number. She called me on the 29th of December, right after her sister disappeared. She wanted to know where her sister was at. Alicia had my phone number. I was afraid for Alicia's life. I was afraid Ted had done something terrible to her, and he did. He did terrible things to her. Before Natalie died and after. When he was on a high-speed chase with police through Oklahoma and Kansas, that was on my birthday last year. That was my birthday present. The year before, my birthday present was to be lied to about being released, lied to about warrants by my own public pretender. The birthday before that, it sucked too. The birthday before that was the last time I saw Natalie alive. The birthday before that, I hurt my back and lost my job, lost my shop, Please kill me, please. Bless you.